The first time it happened, it was like the middle of the night and I just panicked because I was confused what was going on, like what do I do? Hello there and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashely, Liliana, and I share all things navigating life abroad. If you saw my last video, you know that I am no longer in Santiago de Chile. I am back in my home, New York City, hence different background, the really rough lighting that we're working with today. And this move is not permanent. I'm only going to be here for about 2 months to see friends, family, also to prepare for my next move abroad. So what's coming is I have about 2 more Chile videos left, the one that you're currently seeing, the 5 things I wish I knew before I moved to Chile. Another video next week after I'm going to be sharing the experience and what it's like when you return home from a time abroad. Oftentimes we don't really talk about that experience and the reverse culture shock. So I'm going to be sharing some tips about that and what that experience is like this time around. I'm also going to be doing some travel vlogs and of course preparation in real time for my move abroad. Don't want to miss those things that I mentioned because that was a lot. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below to get notified when I post a new video. Now, let's get into what you actually came here for, which is the things I wish I knew before I moved to Chile. Register your phone. I did not know this the first time until we were told once we got there by the program coordinator that you actually have to register your phone within the first 30 days after you arrive in Chile. If you don't do it, your phone will get locked within 30 days if you do not register your phone. Don't do what I did though the first time. We were told that we had to pay for like this certification and then register it. You actually do not have to do that. So I will leave a link down below where I registered the second time and it was completely free. If you saw my video, the 7 cultural differences you need to know before moving to Chile or going to Chile, then I talk about this there as well, and I'm going to mention it again because I think it's really important to brush up on not just Spanish, but specifically Chilenismos. I had a foundation in Spanish. I spoke Spanish growing up with my family, my entire life, although I never formally learned it. But I also knew people who, went to school, studied Spanish, had some sort of foundation, or lived in other Spanish-speaking countries before, and probably felt that they had a good foundation in their knowledge of Spanish or their ability to communicate in Spanish. Quickly, you realize that in Chile, the Chilenismos is what dominates everyday communication and language in Chile. There are books that you can read. I will link one of them down below. It's like a whole dictionary and it has almost every single Chilenismo and phrase that you need to know before you either travel to Chile or move to Chile. There are also blog posts and YouTube videos that you can watch and read to really brush up on the language, but specifically Chilenismos. Really important. I cannot stress that enough. Whether you're traveling or you're moving to Chile, learn the Chilenismos. Earthquakes. You're not going to experience an earthquake every single day that you are living in Chile. So the last big one was in 2010, about 10 years ago. But what you will experience on a daily basis is like tremors and shakes. It's kind of the aftershock that you're going to experience from an earthquake that happened nearby. If you're not used to that and you're coming from a city or a country that earthquakes are not common, those little tremors can be quite surprising, a little bit shocking, and a little bit scary, especially the ones that last 2 seconds, a little bit too long. The best advice that I can give you is the advice that was given to me, and I think it's pretty solid advice. Just follow what the Chileans are doing. If a Chilean or the Chileans around you are running outside, taking cover, doing those things, then that's probably a good indicator of what you should be doing. If everyone's pretty calm, then that's a really good indicator of your reaction to that aftershock or that tremor that is occurring. Don't be like me, who was wide-eyed and shocked in the middle of the night of what was happening, thinking like something worse, and it wasn't. You're definitely gonna feel those aftershocks, those tremors on a day-to-day basis, sometimes even multiple times a day. Eventually, you do start getting used to them just a little bit. Research Chile, and this can be applied to any country. Just research the country that you're moving abroad to or traveling to. I'm not gonna get into a whole political thing or a whole history lesson because there are a lot of people that are still alive from the dictatorship that Chile was under, and I believe that it's their story to tell, and there are resources out there, museums that you can visit in Chile, documentaries that you can watch. I will link some down below that tell that story. I don't think I am the person to do that, especially with people who are still alive, but I think it's important to research and do your due diligence when it comes to traveling anywhere really, especially if you are going to be moving abroad. I come from the United States, and even though my family is from South America and from Spanish-speaking countries, I still think it's super important and something that I did not do the first time I moved to Chile, and I really wish I would have. Countries have resources and power and money. A lot of the times they play or have influence, whether that role is big or small, in other countries that alters that country's trajectory and life. I think it's really important to understand the country that we were born into, the country that we come from, and the role that country played. We don't get taught sometimes in school, so I think it's really important for us to do that work ourselves before we are traveling, to be responsible travelers and to be considerate and understanding and knowledgeable. I actually perfectly planned got this book from a coworker when I used to work at the nonprofit. It is Chile, the Culture Smart Essential Guide to Customs and Culture, and I had started reading it. I was so overwhelmed the first time, I just didn't get around to it, and I really wish that I would have done that, to been much more prepared. The much more relaxed or lax work environment if you are going to be working or teaching abroad in Chile. I do have a Teach in Chile video if anyone is curious or interested in teaching abroad, specifically in Chile. Make sure to check out that video. The work environment is more relaxed than I was used to. Prior to moving to Chile, I worked in a nonprofit, but entering the work environment in Chile was definitely a culture shock, but also something I wish I would have been much more prepared for. They say it's very common for students to greet teachers by giving them a kiss on the cheek, something that I wish I would have taken a bit more seriously when I had moved abroad, but on top of that, also just the much more lax environment that is working in Chile as opposed to working in the United States. If you don't know, I'm actually a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian for 5 years. I make this joke that it's the longest commitment I've had, and okay, anyways. But yeah, so I've been a vegetarian for about 5 years, and something that I always think about when I go travel to a new city or moving abroad to a new country is how vegetarian friendly or even vegan friendly a place is. And although I didn't have like too much concern, culturally speaking, in South America, meat is very much part of the culture, whether it's for holidays or asados, which are barbecues. I did have that kind of in my mind, worried a little bit if being a vegetarian or vegan would be possible or easy in Chile. And I can say that Chile is a very vegetarian friendly. Everywhere I went, always a vegetarian or even a vegan menu option. Even those smaller, like not chain restaurants, always had some sort of option. Am I going to say the option was amazing? No, rice and some vegetables. They were good vegetables, might I add. So I found it to be a very friendly place, not only in terms of restaurants and going out to eat, but also products. There are a lot of vegetarian friendly, vegan friendly products in the supermarket. There are also like specialty stores where you can buy vegan products, vegetarian products. So all in all, I would say that Chile is a very vegetarian and vegan friendly place. If you go to Chile and you're in Santiago, my favorite burger place is Holy Moly. I highly recommend it. I'm sure people will tell you there are better options, and I'm sure there are, but Holy Moly is like dear to my heart. We've been through things. I love that place. It has my favorite burger, the black bean burger, and it's delicious. I hope that these things I wish I knew before I moved to Chile will help you if you are moving to Chile in the foreseeable future, or maybe just going to another country. Some of these things can definitely be applied to moving abroad to another country. Continue following along, make sure to subscribe, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao. Like, the lighting is off. The sound is off. One, I was sick for like 2 weeks, so that's why my voice is like rough, but then also like this room echoes, and it's the only room that I could find that gives me like some natural light, somewhat of a decent background, but it's not always perfect. That's part of this kind of life of living here and there and a little bit of everywhere. All of the situation and the environment is not always going to be perfect, but nonetheless, here we are and we're gonna do the things.